So imagine one of the biggest, I guess you could say, like media outlets, right, having the opportunity to announce something incredibly big, which of course is related to this Black Panther DLC, and then completely given the wrong information after literally hyping loads of fans up. That's exactly what's happened, but what you're seeing in the background, boy oh boy, a lot of stuff has happened today. We got some brand new screenshots of the man himself, T'Challa. We also get our first ever look of T'Challa without the helmet, which is absolutely incredible because now we're digging deeper into what this DLC is going to be about. And now we have official confirmation that the one and only Christopher Judge is indeed the Black Panther in this DLC, which is going to be absolutely incredible. If you don't know who Christopher Judge is, he's the dude that voiced Kratos back in God of War, so I mean, you kind of know he's got the skills, right? So let's dive into this because things are getting incredibly juicy, but we got a cool, really cool sponsor in fact. So let me run the ad and then we'll continue into the video. So I really want to share something with you guys interested in comic books because I really believe in this project, but also they're doing a really cool giveaway which I'll explain. But the sponsor is 9 Realms Publishing. Now in short, they make incredible comic books, and their most recent and active campaign for their comic, The Embrace, is in super high demand on Indiegogo and is a fantastic book for fans of stories like James O'Barr's The Crow. But look, the campaign will not be open for much longer, but there is another way to support these guys and their cause through the option of Patreon, as they are working super hard to get to $500 per month, and you can help for as little as just $1 a month. Now this right here is the important one for $20 a month, which is the 9 Realms catalog, which gets you exclusive sneak peeks of their up and coming projects, as well as an annual care package of 9 Realms books with exclusive Patreon covers and extras from the previous campaigns. Last but not least, the giveaway is for a free collector box with all current 9 Realms content plus every variant of the Embrace. Now to get involved, all you need to do is join the Discord link below, but please just go ahead and join 9 Realms in general, as the team is incredible and the comics are just insane, from the story right down to the visualization. It's a great community. Just go ahead, check them out. The link is in the description below. Alright, so let me break it down. EW, which is Entertainment Weekly, some of you guys may or may not know them. They're huge. They have like 6.5 million followers, I believe, over on Twitter, and overall they're just incredibly big, right? So if you don't know them, now you know who they are, but I'm assuming majority of you guys know who they actually are. Now here's the really interesting thing. So they had the opportunity to go ahead and give some information regarding the Black Panther DLC, but ultimately confirm that Christopher Judge is of course the voice for this character. But what they did say, and I quote, is that War for Wakanda adds a new single player campaign that runs more than 25 hours. There will be new adversaries, including 2 central villains, and what McLeod calls, and I quote, a robust cast of Wakandans, like of course all the others we've seen, locations like Shuri's laboratory and the Wakandan War Room, and new missions for the Drop Zone and Threat Sector. Now, they had to go ahead and clear this up. Now, when I'm making this video, there hasn't been an official statement via the official Marvel's Avengers Twitter account, but over on Discord, Andy, who is the community manager, did say that first of all, they've announced that they're going to have Christopher Judge and Evan on their stream tomorrow from 10 AM Pacific time, but what they did say is they want to clarify the situation with EW.com, and that is that we did want to clarify that the 25-hour runtime that was stated in this article included the Reassemble campaign, operations, and the War for Wakanda expansion. So hopefully that clears up the confusion, because tons and tons and tons of people really read this the wrong way, including me. It was like, hold on a second, is this a 25-hour DLC with a complete brand new story? And although sure, like there's an element to it that yes, that actually is the thing, it's not 25 hours. But nonetheless, it does get even interesting because we, like I said, got the screenshots that you're seeing in the background, especially our first ever look at T'Challa without the helmet besides the trailer. So this is our official HD look, I guess you could say. But what's going to be really interesting is, in the article they mention a few things. So Hannah McLeod, basically the DLC's narrative lead, who worked very close with Evan on this. Basically, long story short, because I don't want to read out every single word here, word by word, but they did say that they believe this game's version of T'Challa is already distinct given his place within the context of Marvel's Avengers. Now what was really interesting is they say, and I quote, "The DLC largely picks up 5 years after this event to see the ripple effects in Wakanda." Now ladies and gentlemen, that alone is where things get very interesting. But it doesn't stop there, it gets even more exciting. So it says, T'Challa's kingdom was in negotiations with Steve Rogers to ally with the Avengers, but with Cap's death brought a change of heart for most technology advanced nation on Earth. They closed off their borders to the rest of the world once again. In the DLC, however, T'Challa has no choice but to enter the fray when the corrupt corporation AIM, headed by of course MODOK, hires of course Claw to produce vibranium. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is now that door where it's like, okay, remember how I always bang on about there's going to be that ending when it comes down to, of course, actually finishing off AIM, and AIM's no longer exist, and there's going to be a whole new faction, etc. This is basically that opening door for it, right? This is where things really get heated up. I mean, that dial is really being turned up here, because this is going to be a DLC that they can literally just build layers on. Like, there can be so much content that just kind of rolls into other content, or should we say DLC, for this game, and that alone is going to be very interesting. Of course, it needs to be done correctly. It's not just a matter of course, you know, kind of slap any DLC together and hope that it works, but you get the point, right? The point is that, hey, this is actually going to be very interesting indeed. Now, when are we going to be getting our deep dive? Well, it definitely seems like it's getting closer. So with the interview that's going to be going down next week, I really strongly believe that we're going to be getting our deep dive announcement hopefully next week, with the intention to potentially be maybe towards the end of July. So probably from like the 29th to the 30th, right? Because it's going to be a weekday. So actually scrap that. Let's say the 28th to the 30th. So the last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this month is when I personally feel we may have the deep dive video. But don't hold me to that, because I am just a fan and all speculation is my own. I did not have any inside information. That's just me putting two and two together. Now, of course, equally what would make a lot of sense is the fact that it could actually be very early in August. But nonetheless, we got the new information. This DLC is looking absolutely incredible, and well, it's just a matter of how this gameplay is going to look. But let me tell you now, with of course the one and only Christopher Judge, well, voicing Black Panther, that's huge within itself. So it's like you've got that connection to the character. Avengers bottles down to the story and the gameplay, but either way, we're heading into some positive times for this game, in my opinion. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video here. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and until the next one, adios amigos.